everyone, K Kim here. Welcome to the market update. Today is June 2nd, 2017, Friday. Market is still open as I record this video. Market should be open another hour or so. Well, I'm gonna go through this rather quickly. At this point, you don't want to overanalyze. Market is in a bullish trend, and I feel like what I've been saying here and here and here, I will say the same thing. Obviously here, minor term trend was more bearish at that point, but if we just zoom out, we're still on an uptrend, and these kind of stuff happens when we're in this primary term uptrend. You can see I just feel very redundant here, just always explaining this to you, but I'm sure a lot of you understand this by now. But many of others who continues to try to short this market, continues to call for market crash, continues to say that sooner or later we're going to see 180s, they are missing out and they are losing lots of money, and they are very angry, and they don't know how to trade this market. So market goes up and down. That's what happens. That's what we call an uptrend. That's what we call higher lows and higher highs. That is just very basic of technical analysis. And now that we got that out of the way, obviously market is gonna do what it's gonna do. Continue to respect this uptrend. Here, let me put back in my moving averages. I know we've been talking about that. My modify moving averages, and so that's just gonna be a ground roll here, general simple roll here. As long as we're above rising 20 MA, this is modify setting on high. As long as we're above 20 MA, we're way above it, so there's a chance they could come in and retest it. I don't know, but I really don't care. As a position trader, I hold things much longer term, so I am not going to freak out. We get a little bit of pullback. But as long as we're above 20 MA, rising 20 MA, benefit of the Dow goes to buyers in the minor term. And as long as we're above, let me make it a little bit more clear that 50 MA, I'll make it a little bit darker, it's kind of hard to see. And I'll put that, I'll keep that moving average in there, so we'll track it on a weekly basis. As long as we're above, we can even move this, just kind of keep the moving average. Moving average is doing great job riding or drawing support for us. It was a support here, and then became a support there, and then it became support. It's almost like, hey, 50 MA has a strong resume. It has been acting as strong support. So when we pull back here, instead of calling that the whole world is going to nothing, we say, hey, you know what, let's see if we can find some buyers in that vicinity. And then we did, and then continued higher. We got all these gappy moves, just completely clearing out the shorts, and the one less bleed to keep the shorts in, and then they just got obliterated at this point. And I don't know if you remember last week, I talked about that. When was last week? That was let's see, 26th. I think this was on this day. We talked about how that I am open-minded, this thing coming, filling this gap in that vicinity, and we did that. We filled this gap precisely, and then we bounced from it. We threw a little bit of hammer candle there, as you can see. These resistance and support levels, it doesn't matter however you want to draw it, as long as it's the level that is important. So I mean, you can, some people will draw things like this, where, hey, we retest that level, maybe you have to draw it like that. Either way, this level was that, this level was this, the horizontal rise support was that, and then we had that gap area. So in the minor term, that level was important. This is why you do not want to neglect technical analysis. Anybody out there think that technical analysis is foolish are those people who've been losing money every single day. So Spider looking good here. My target, as I wrote that article, SPY, the next big move. I am still thinking that 247, 250. And I don't know what's going to happen Monday. See, I don't really know if you're going to see a sharp decline. I don't know if you're going to gap down. Why do you want to figure out what's going to happen next day? Don't you want to know what's going to happen next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks? Right? So that's how we're going to approach it. Looks great here. All terms. Sentiment is bullish, and I'm going to continue to trade this market in that direction. Looking at the daily chart, we are entering into minor term, micro term overbought sentiment in some of my oscillators, some of my short-term oscillators. So we may see a pullback, we may see a short-term sideways move, but overall sentiment is bullish there. Let's go to Dow Jones. We'll look at all the indices today: SPY, Dow, Q, Semi, Russell, transport, financial sector, and gold, silver, GDX, all of that. But I'm going to go through them very, very quickly. Dow Jones Industrial Average printing all-time high yet again. As you can see, we had a little bit of a fizzle here, but we're back above 20 MA. You can see we've been talking about this 20 MA quite some time, acting as support here. It was acting as resistance, support here, and then back support, supporting it. Impressive move. We've gotten above it, a little bit of bull flag here, got up, continuation to the upside there. So it's bullish. It looks bullish, a lot of room to move on the weekly chart, on the daily and some of the shorter term time frame. Yeah, we're a little bit overbought, but it can keep grinding higher. And I am kind of anticipating that this market continues to kind of a grind higher. Nasdaq Qs, look at this thing, it won't stop. I mean, it is just making a lot of people mad. I mean, just because, you see, this is the thing about it is, just because this thing moved this much doesn't mean it has to do that. You see what I'm saying? This is how this market is designed to do this. This is how this market does. See, when we see this kind of move, you're expecting this kind of pullback to retest. See, that's easy for everybody. It's going to reward those who's patient. It's going to reward those who's much, much longer term, who's going to continue to look at this as a market that is strong. But you see, people, let's say you went long here, you close it out here, I'm scared it's going to come down, and then you missed out. You see, and I get it. Not all stocks or indices going to always move forever like that. And so what happens is there's so many people attempting to short, right? Because they think just because this thing moves so fast, so much, that it should see a much, much bigger. No, it can't go like this. When you think it can't go any higher, it can't possibly go any higher, it does go higher and higher. And we're probably going to see, maybe retest that 50 MA on this day. We haven't retested that for a while, but I don't know when. Why trying to call tops here? Why trying to short this? Why trying to make little blip when you can make this? Which way do you think you make more money? Trying to short this or trying to go long? And obviously, is this the level to go long? No. But if you are holding either stocks or calls on the Qs or in this sector, the technology sector, this is a level to continue to enjoy this ride and continue to give benefit of doubt to the buyers. That's what it means, right? So it looks bullish here. All of these indices look very, very bullish. Semiconductor. I don't know if you guys remember, but back in 2015, early 2016, I talked about how semiconductor could be the sector. I do a video you can actually search on YouTube. Semiconductor. If you just do semiconductor on my YouTube channel, that how this thing possibly ready for all-time high move. And you can see that we had a huge base and we retested it, and you can see a fast move here, right? See, a lot of scare people, a lot of traders got scared out of here, thought that this is a major topping pattern. It never confirmed. You see that this is a potentially inverted head and shoulder that never confirmed, and we nullified it by closing above these lows. This is the level, this breakout level. Ever since then, look at that 50 MA. That 50 MA have been acting as a perfect support every time. This is how this market is going to operate. It's not going to make it easy for anybody. Just because it has been moving so much that we should see that kind of move. Maybe, but you know what? Nothing is going to go straight up and then straight down. There's going to be some kind of a potential, like even here, we had these kind of a, rising channel type of move that was cultivated over 4 or 5 months, and then we lost that move. You see, it doesn't just go straight up and then straight down. There's something. It's going to give you something before it sees that kind of a steep capitulation move. Right now, we have to give benefit out to the buyers on the semiconductor. Let's look at small caps. Small caps, big move here. This is a breakout level that I was looking at, that 20 MA. Yesterday we closed well above it. We saw that hammer. See how this thing just we had a big move, came down, got back up, threw a little bit of double bottom. But you know what the good thing about it is though? This is a level that we held. This is a rising channel, right? So we got the rising channel here. And then, see, this is, I've been talking about this for quite some time. It's gonna have a zigzagging mode, right? Like this. And then it just goes up. That's how it has been fashioned. It has been conditioned. We get that move and then you get a boom. We get that move and you get a boom. You get that move and then probably another boom. Looks like that's kind of what it's going to do. But first, next level resistance on the Russell 2000 is this level. What I am kind of, looking to see is maybe get up here, close above it, retest it, and then break out to the upside. Let's see how that plays out there. Transport, man, so many people were calling transport. Same with the Russell 2000. I mean, they're people, they're so-called experts calling that even, it's funny. I just watch to see what they're saying, that the lows, not today. Everybody today is gonna be talking about this. Is gonna be you know what's the hardest thing in trading? Everybody knows it's bullish right now. See what so-called experts been saying here in those lows when this thing looked the darkest right here. What were they saying? See, some were saying that this is a head and shoulder formation. This isn't come down, and then maybe next support is 118, right? And I've also heard transport that this is head and shoulder formation, left shoulder head, right shoulder, and then this thing is kind of gonna come back down to 145. Well, that head and shoulder, what they said, it has never confirmed. This market just trapped everyone. This is how it traps on both directions, traps the long side here, traps the short side there. This is why you never chase a trade. This is why you never play. I hate breakout plays. Breakout plays works out sometimes, but a lot of times it doesn't. There's a lot of people out there, it's like always showing the, breakout plays that worked out. Breakout plays, it doesn't work out. I hate it. This is the reason why. You thought this was short because below. This is why you charge both shorts and longs. This is how the longs get stopped out and shorts start going short or double down or whatever, and then it just reverses on you. Same thing happened kind of right here. I mean, it looked like this was a clean breakout above 20, and then boom, comes back down, and then gets below, boom, and then gets right back up. Gotta love this market, right? This is why I hate day trading. This is why I hate swing trading, right? I don't want to this market to play me around like some old dirty rag and just throw me around like that. Banks, holding up okay. Just even on this day, last couple of months, everybody were saying that this is head and shoulder formation. It's gonna come down, and then it's gonna likely, that's what the so-called experts saying. Likely, it's gonna come to 20s. Well, that didn't have. What was that? I was gonna share something. There's actually a very, very good example. Where was that? Here you go. This is a good example right there. So this looks a lot like today, actually. So you can see we had a pretty strong move here, and then we threw this head and shoulder formation. Looks like we slightly undercut it in these two levels to kind of trap in the shorts. I can see a lot of people calling for this thing to come down, but yeah, we just go straight up there. So today, same thing is happening. That is very symmetrical looking head and shoulder formation there. So no, I am calling it. I don't think that's what's gonna happen. I think even if it does come down a little bit, undercut it a little bit, I think and obviously nobody knows anything for sure, but I think there's a higher probability of this being another kind of shakeout or head fake or kind of scare everybody out before moving higher there. So I'm calling it a bluff. And there's so many head and shoulder, and I've been talking about this in so many different videos. Oh, what happened? So even here, it's smaller. I talked about this, but I'll talk about it again. Look at this. Looks like this is head and shoulder formation right there, right? Got a left shoulder head, right shoulder looked like it was breaking down to come down, and they probably said the same thing. Well, since the break it came right up, and so should come down, and then it just shot up there. I mean, there's so many different you know, right here, left shoulder head, right shoulder, undercut it slightly, and then boom, gets up there. So that's how the market is gonna play. Let's go to gold. I haven't looked at gold in a while. Since then, we are making some progress here. Let me adjust this a little bit. We're still in this kind of bound by this downtrend resistance. I'm gonna adjust it a little bit. Again, it's not gonna just because it's not gonna. It's just that we're still have that pressure, right? So I'm just gonna little bit right there. So we're slightly above that, but that isn't. You can't look at that and say, oh, that's a breakout. Okay, no, this thing needs to get above at least 124.54. There could be another shenanigan that happening. So I'm still completely away from gold and silver market. We got some signals on the monthly chart that this possibly a bottoming signal there, but that really get my attention if this thing starts to get up and start to see something like that. Like I've been saying, it's not too late. Don't try to pick bottom here. It's not too late to start to go long in these levels, because once this thing going, we can get new all-time high and above, which is 180 and could even 200. So we got some signals on the monthly that looks kind of positive. And once I see a little bit more evidence, I might write an article or give you guys right now. That's all I'm gonna say. Silver, silver is okay. Gold looks better. Silver is actually struggling right now. We're still bound by this long-term downtrend resistance, which we've been talking about quite some time. Silver, as far as this technical is concerned, still needs to get above 1783. Below that, it's just going to be a chop fest, up and down, up and down. If that's what you like, that's great. But for me to be engaged in for a primary term, because what I want to do, what I really want to do is be part of this. I don't want to be part of a little chop fest here, little chump changes. What I want to be part of is that. That's what I want to be part of. That's some huge profit opportunity. But right now, no. GDX, I'll end the video with this. GDX, let's see. GDX holding up here. Hey, we're still in that form of inverted head and shoulders. Still kind of something there, but I think needs to get above 25.62. Really is middle of nowhere right now, but for this head and shoulder. But for me to get excited, for GDX been struggling. You can see this need to get above 20.69 for this to be more exciting there. For this thing to completely reverse. And I'm talking. I don't want to be a chop fest here. I want to profit when this thing goes, make new all-time high around 80s. And there will be plenty of time. I'm going to be patiently wait, and then once it gives me that opportunity, then I'll engage. But for now, we don't have much of a good signal on GDX or silver, but GLD something. But we need all those three to kind of endorse each other and kind of unanimously showing some positive signals. So have a wonderful weekend. Good luck trading next week.